One thing I've always been thankful for is how positive the crews have always been, even in some of the more aggressive study designs that we've done with them. These initial ones were very hands off, uh, and we had plenty of jokes over collecting urine samples and the color of the urine and the smell of the urine and how we were going to process it and all that stuff. But just how their their excitement to be in the study was really has always been really awesome. It's always great when they're much more motivated because you know they're going to stick to the methodology. And if we say we need you to collect your own sample out there, if you don't come back, no problem. They'll easily do that. So they've always been super gracious in providing of their own time. It gives them something unique to do out there, that's for sure. But at the same time, it is kind of a hassle when I'm calling them on the radio almost constantly saying, "Are you coming back into camp tonight? If you're not, I need to do this." And just them being patient with us, trying to capture these very expensive samples. So we're on this fire called the Bear Basin Fire, which the camp was down kind of on the North Fork of the Salmon, up from Salmon, Idaho, near a little place. No, I don't want to call it a town, a little gas station area called Shoup, Idaho, right there on the North Fork. And we would travel up and down that dirt road during the day when we didn't have anything else to do. And I was calling the crew in and I said, "Hey, you know what? Are you guys coming back in tonight?" And they said, "Yeah, we're definitely coming back in tonight. We're not spiking out. We'll be in camp." I'm like, oh, huge relief to know, okay, we're going to be able to get the samples, no problem. So I was at the Shoup gas station at the time with a radio talking to the crew, and a couple of the research assistants, Kathy and Sonia, were there, and they had ordered some lunch and a couple of milkshakes. And they come out with these big huckleberry milkshakes that were, I mean, huckleberries were perfectly in season at this time. So they were fresh milkshakes. I'm like, damn, those look good. How much are those shakes? I don't remember what they were, a couple bucks or $3 or whatever. And I said, how hard would it be for you guys to make 20 of those? Like, we can do it. Yeah. And I'm like, I want to make 20 of those and have them available about 7 o'clock. Because I figured that's probably when the crew's going to be rolling off the line and coming back towards camp. Like, yeah, we'll pre-make them, keep them in the freezer. They'll be good to go. I'm like, okay, here's my credit card to pay for it. And I paid, I don't know, it was $100 or something for 20 milkshakes. It might have been less, around there. But I then called the crew on the radio and I said, "Hey, Steve, make sure you stop at the Shoup gas station and go in. I've got a surprise for you and the whole crew." He's like, "Okay, that sounds great." So they come rolling in to camp at about 8 o'clock. All of them just ecstatic that they stopped there and each one had their own milkshake, which they don't serve milkshakes in fire camp. So when they rolled through that Shoup gas station and they picked up their milkshake, they were super excited. And it was like, really, that's all I have to do to drive their enthusiasm from a 7 up to an 11. And super simple, but not a normal thing that you're going to do in a lab research study, certainly. But that made all the difference. And then it was like they're completely invested. They know that I'm invested in them. They're going to be invested in our team, which was awesome. And that was really fun to do. It was a little bit challenging when we got back to campus when I turned that receipt into the research office and say I need to get reimbursed for $100 worth of milkshakes, but $100 to get the data that we need to get when every sample is well over $100. Very good money invested. So I've always felt like I always want to try to express my gratitude to the management teams and the crew members and the crew superintendents and even the dispatch people that have become patient at working with us, or that have been patient working with us to help us work in an area that is not our world of work or play, but just getting that kind of cooperation, extreme cooperation from all those different levels, has just been incredible. It's the only way that data collection can get can happen is with them acting in the background, making things happen for us, which has been super rewarding.